All right. StreamYard may have changed. I'm not sure this is going to record where I can put it on YouTube, but I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. This is going to record where I can put it on YouTube, but I'm not. All right, so I'm going to give it a few minutes and let some people come in. I am going to do a DeStach sale, but I thought I'd chat and visit for a few minutes while everybody was getting in. And I was just going to show you some of the things that I've been working on. It's been a long time since I've streamed, but I am retired now so that I will have more time to devote to what I actually really enjoy. I won't have lesson plans or stay late at school or any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to sub, but I won't be there every day. And the responsibility that full time teaching requires. Hi, Tara. I have been at school. Uh, After COVID, school just got so crazy. Hi, Joy. That it was just really difficult to even be motivated, I guess. I did do some art, but a lot of times it'd be late at night or um, I maybe found a little quiet time to do something. But everything had to be digital, and then they changed the curriculum. But as of May, I am retired. So I can sub, but that doesn't require the responsibility. I get to leave when school's over. So I thought I'd just share some of the journal pages that I did do. This is a journal that I had that I deconstructed. And then this was just, I've been working on a lot on 6x6. And these I did the other day. So I just thought I'd share a little bit before we got started with the DeStach sale. And anything that doesn't sell today, I'm going to put in my Etsy shop and it will be available over there. So I'll go ahead and I'll just start with what I did is I had some of these little, they're like 1.5 by 1. They were from a framing project. And I don't know, I was cleaning and I found them and I was like, oh, I don't really want to throw them away, but what am I going to do with them? I didn't know. And I had seen a post on Instagram, and the artist called them totem poles, and they were a little bit bigger. And I thought those would be kind of neat with just scraps of jelly paper and vintage. So I just made up a couple of them the other day, and I'm gonna put them in my Etsy. I'm not sure how they would shipping them, so I may just, I don't know, it may need to be just like local. And so this was the first one I did, and then I just put a little D-ring to hang them and gave them a coat of gloss. And then this was the second one I did, and I think they turned out kind of neat. I like how the interplay of the prints, and then when I wanted to, I kind of used some skinnier pieces for the transitions. So I think they turned out kind of cool. My original thought when I was setting it up, when I was thinking of like a beach and the ocean, but I ended up just kind of rearranging them. So I thought those were kind of fun. And so I'm going to get some more wood and do some more of those. There's a local store that just opened in Arlington that I may try to see if they'll carry some of my stuff on consignment. And this was a journal. It was in a book, but it was a book. It was a journal that the pages tear out. It looks like I have one here, different size. It came like this, but it's perforated, so the pages pull out. So when I did it, I intentionally did it And there's the brand. Tuma, no, or Tmuarta. I got it on Amazon, and I liked the paper, the weight of the paper, because it'll take. And I decided to do them just one-sided since I knew I was going to tear them out. And then after I took them out, I went ahead and rounded the corners. I'll get you and show you the one. I matted one. But I bet it's not in here. No, it's not. One of them I put in a mat. I just put some paper behind it and put it in a mat so it could go in a frame, since it's kind of an odd size. So that's what I'm going to do with them. Let me see if I can zoom the camera in a little. I've rearranged my room completely, so even the pole and everything is different. How I have set my camera up. So I was tired of sitting in the middle of the room and losing space. See, and it's, let me turn it around. Okay, give me just a second. I thought I had it right. That's better. And I'll scoot those up, and then I'll zoom out when we're ready to use more space. So I did a lot of stencil work as the basis for a lot of them, and then came in and just added some collage on top. And like I said, I intentionally kept them one-sided. Kind of a vintage abstract style. But you can see it's a pretty, it's like a 140-pound or 180-pound. Hey, Adria. So I did that. Like I said, I'll just flip through these. A lot of use of the tissue, stamped tissue or jelly printed tissues. Like I said, then what I'm doing is putting them on a piece of 8.5 by 11, basically paper, and then putting them in a mat that's an 11 by 14 with an 8 by 10 opening, so that you can put them in a regular frame. Good afternoon to those of you coming in. I'll start the sale here in just a little bit. I was just doing like a little flip through and kind of showing you what I've been up to and what I've been working on. I have been arting, I just hadn't been streaming. And this journal is the 5.5 by 8 journal. Like I said, I got it on Amazon, and then I deconstructed it. So I intentionally did not do the back side of the journal pages because I knew I wanted to list them on Etsy. Hey, Judy. Hi, Rosemary. Then I'll show you the little 6x6s that I did. And again, most of these are abstracts. Oh, there's Tay. She wants in the door. She has separation anxiety if she is not in the same room as me. And a lot of these I did in kind of pairs, or I'd do like 3 or 4 at a time. So there'd be some kind of like crossover. A cousin of Bob sent some vintage magazines from the East Coast, and they have a lot of advertisements in them. And so I've been using those as a base for a lot of my work lately. Hi, Carla. A lot of neutrals with a pop of a color. This one, I think I was in doing the Collage Summit class. And so I think I was doing a lesson from there on this one. And that's the last one. All right. I got one more thing to show you, and then we'll start the show. Let me zoom the camera back out just a little bit. Look what came today. It's got a gray bar across the front because it's a proof copy. So I'll do a little flip through. It's only available on Amazon, and the easiest way to find it is to look up my name, but it's called The Art of Fusion, Collage Techniques and Inspiration for Mixed Media. I've already got a second one started called The Art of Fusion, and it's going to be on stenciling techniques. But I'll do like a flip through. It's got a glossy cover and it's full color pages. It's 8.5 by 11. I did the print a little bigger than I realized from what it looks on your screen compared to what it looked in print. But it's, I guess, good for us people with old eyes. So, and I included a lot of my artwork that was collage. So introduction, and then I talked about the tools that you need for collage, paper selection, about choosing papers and where to source them, and ephemera, color schemes, This is more still on color schemes. And then I went into the basics of composition and some of the rules of composition and broke that down. More on composition, print and pattern, like selecting prints and patterns and creating texture and collage. And then I went into some projects, and in the projects I showed some of the techniques. So the first project is, I call them cluster collage. Here's an example of one where I build a little cluster and then I've been putting them on basic black cards. So it walks through how I select everything and what I do. And then I put some samples. And then I did vintage collage canvas and step by step my process that I go through that, and then put some examples of vintage collage, which there's quite a few because that's a lot of what I do. Like these are all botanical. Then I talked about abstract collage and how I kind of work in abstract. And again, gallery. This is that sample. That's one of those pages from the journal that I framed and matted. And then a gallery. And then I talked about how I do collage on these zippered bags that we all like to buy, the little acrylic ones that are vinyl that come in different sizes, and about how to make the pattern for it, walk through what materials to use, the steps on how I create them. And then I gave some gallery, some samples of some bags that I'd created. And then the last thing I did was paper piecing, and I showed how I do paper piecing. Now, this wasn't a finished project. It was just a paper piecing. So I gave the pattern that I use over here that people are welcome to make a copy and use, and the steps that I take when I do the paper piecing. You can see this is a project that I did just recently. This is like a 12 by 48 canvas with paper piece houses. Another project I had done. This is like 36 by 48. This one took a long time. And then a bio. So I'm real excited. Like I said, it just came today. And it was so much easier than I thought to do. And it's through the KDP on Amazon. All right. So for those of you who are interested in purchasing anything today, you'll find a link at the top. And it just says buyer's info. And you can give me your real name, your screen name, your shipping address. And if you want to go through PayPal or you want to go through Etsy, when I get all your purchases, I'll figure out what shipping would be and send you an invoice so that you have it all ready, either in one Etsy transaction or one PayPal transaction. So I'm going to start with the books that I'm going to purge. And a lot of this is just about, I need to get some space. So I'm going to show them in a set of 4, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the first one is one of the Catherine Anderson, one of her first ones, I believe, Vintage Journal Imagery. I have not cut or done anything to this book. I got it to use for collage, and I've never used it. And the images are a little larger than I typically work right now, so I just never used it. So that'll be A, and it'll be $5. The second one I also just bought recently is called Cut Out and Collage, and it's Vintage People, and I've never used it or done anything with it. It's got one-sided vintage images that you can cut to collage, and I don't know, I haven't used it. Like I said, I'm just purging. This will be B, and again, $5. And the third one on this round is C, is the Organic Artist. And this has all kinds of recipes on different inks to make, paints to make. I got it when I was trying to investigate about making my watercolors. And a lot of it talks about handmade paper, pastels, paints and binders, making stuff from the nature. And it's going to be $8, and it'll be C. And then this one I just got recently too. It's called Cut Paper Pictures. It's a hardback. And again, it's got papers you can cut out of it. It's got projects and samples about how to do different things. It's going to be $8 as well. So that's going to be D. So I'm going to put go in the chat. And if anybody is interested in any of those, let me know. Joy B. Rosemary A. And I am going to ship these media because it'll be less expensive, because I can do it as a media package for the books. So that keeps the shipping down. All right. Is there anybody interested in C or D? Yeah, C is a great book. Tara D. All right. I'm going to set this aside, and then I'll show you the next set. And I'm going to start with E on these. All right. So this one here is by Kathy Taylor, and it's about using alcohol ink, and it is a spiral bind. She's got projects and tips and techniques, step outs. It's, like I said, it's a really nice book. I got it when I was first doing alcohol inks, and that'll be $10. And then this is the latest edition of Photoshop for Dummies. It's Photoshop Elements from 2020 for Dummies. And I don't write in my books or anything. If I do anything, I post-it note and then write a note on a post-it note. So there's nothing in any of the margins. And this one will be $5 is F. This one is on creating digital art with Adobe Photoshop Elements. It had a CD, but I don't have the CD. I never had the CD. and she walks you through different projects and how to do layering and work with the layers. And ghost and manipulate the images. And that one will be also $5. That'll be G. And then this last one is acrylic surfaces. It's an older book. In fact, I'm not sure if it's a design original. And it's just mixed media and using acrylic paint. And she talks about glazing and different techniques on each project. And it will be $5. And that'll be H. Go. All right. So we have E, F, G, and H. If anybody is interested in those. All right, so I'm going to set those aside. And like I said, I will list those on my Etsy shop if somebody changes their mind or sees the video. The next thing is $5, is a scanner mouse. I just found that I didn't do it. It has the CD in it and everything. It's if you want to scan things that are bigger than a flatbed scanner will do to like larger artwork. And it's a Halo mouse. Like I said, it's got everything in the box. I just never really used it. All right, so the next thing, I need some black. Wait for just a second. So these are a set of stencils, and it'll be $5. They kind of all have a botanical feel to them. So that's the first one, and they'll be together as a set. This is the next one. And this is the third one. And I never opened them or used them. They came with some others. And that little set of stencils will be $5 also. All right. All right. The next thing, Rosemary, you want the stencils? Got it. All right. So the next thing is my Holbein watercolors. It is a set of 60. This is just the way I kind of liked. They're all swatched, and the names and the pigment colors, they come in like little boxes. And I'm going to tell you, like, not used. I mean, like, probably on many of the tubes, the only thing I did was open them and squeeze out a very small amount on a palette. And so you can see that, like I said, none of the... I just found that I wasn't watercoloring. I have a lot of M. Grahams set up in my palette and some Daniel Smiths. I wasn't using very many of these. A few of them I had in my palette, but not very much. And so I just decided as I was purging that I didn't want them to go bad. And like I said, there's a few of them where I've just like barely squeezed any color out. And then that's the last two. This set, let me look, I wrote it down because I looked it up. This set is $124 to $300 new. Yeah, you put them in your, I'll show you how I've set my palette up. They last really long time, but I just bought me a palette that, this one seals. It's got a little tray that goes with it. And I just put my colors in there. And then I swatched up here. So then like when I'm working, I can sit, I can travel with it. But if I run out, then I would just take and put a little bit from the tube. And I don't put a whole lot in my palette. I just replace, like, see, this one's gone. This one's a Daniel Smith that I just haven't replaced in there. And I'm going to sell these for $40. If anybody is interested. Let's set that to the side. All right. The next is a big set of vintage stamps. There are, I counted, like almost 50 stamps. I don't want to sell them individually. I really just want to put them in like one of the priority boxes that ship for a flat rate and just sell them that way as one big. There's Christmas, there's Halloween, there's handmade by, there's some couple religious stamps. There's just an assortment, football helmet. Some of them are very obviously like from Hobby Lobby that has the stamps on them. A couple of them I'm pretty sure might be from some of those sets that you would buy from the catalogs. I can't think of the name of the company. The scrapbooking company. And I'm just going to sell the whole lot of these for, I don't know, say $10 plus shipping. The shipping will be about, I think the shipping will be 15 on those boxes now, approximately. If I list them in Etsy, I might break it down into smaller to do the smaller shipping boxes. But if anybody is interested in the stamps, just let me know. They were given to me, and they're just not anything that I don't stamp like that a whole lot. And if I don't sell them, then I'll donate them or something to someone. Let me grab the next bundle. Will also need to ship in the watercolor. Yes, you would pay shipping. I don't know how much the shipping is, Lisa. I can put it in the smallest box I can find and figure it out. They're not very heavy, so I don't think it's just the box will be kind of big, but I'll find the tiniest box I can. But I can figure it out and email it to you if you want before I list it on Etsy. If you want me to do that, my guess the shipping is going to be anywhere between 5 and 8, maybe. I'll do pirate ship. I have a way of weighing it and figuring it out ahead of time. Just let me know if you want me to. I can send you an invoice, and if you change your mind, you can let me know. Okay, you fill out the form, and once I have your address, I'll calculate it. I'll find the box that will fit the closest to this size. I've been saving some Amazon boxes, and I'll email you what it would be so you can let me know. Okay. All right. So this next thing would be also probably a priority mailbox kind of thing. There it is, the wax seal stuff. I just don't use it. It probably would have to go in a medium box. There are 10 tea light candles, 4 of the spoons that you melt. All of these are wax chips. I have a container completely full of the black and an off-white. And I have 5 of the handles. These are flat in different shapes. What you do sometimes is do a flat shape, put something there like maybe a little dried flower, and you don't necessarily want a pattern. And then there's a botanical set that are in here. There's 12 of them, and I have 2 of the heaters. So this is everything you would need if you were interested in any of that kind of stuff. Like I said, I think the easiest way to ship it would probably be in a priority box, but I'm willing to box it and check it out. And I'm going to do $10 on all of that. plus shipping. Okay, Joy. Now, Joy, I'm not going to send the book with this because the book will definitely ship cheaper by itself. Because I know that media book rate is real cheap. But I will look at it both ways and figure out how is to box it. I'll weigh it and look at the different sizes and kind of figure out when I invoice it. It won't be in the shoe box, but that's why I can get it in. All right, so there are a lot of duplicates on this one. I have multiples. They're going to be $5 each, and they are like not used. Let me get them out. And they are the dual tip markers. So this is a 48 piece, and it has the chisel on one end and the fine point on the other. Like I said, they're barely used. I used them when I was starting out in alcohol inks, and then just found that I really preferred to go with the bottles, with the large bottle. So that's a 48 piece set. This is also a different brand of 48 or 30. I think this is 48 again. And these are a chisel and a fine tip. And then this is two sets. One set is skin tones, and the other set, and I'm going to sell these together, are the blues. So I'll put these as one together. And they have the fine tip and the chisel. Like I said, I've barely used them. I did a couple projects with them. All right, and so what I'll do is call this, we'll do this. Give me just a second. This brand is Touch Cool. This brand is, I can't read. Sticks, I think. And this is Touch New. And we'll call it A, B, and these will be C. Oh. And C is both sets. the blues and the skin tone. All right, just let me know if anybody is interested in the markers. B, all right, and that's Joy. And I got C. Give me just a second. I'm going to put these in a bag. I'll leave I'm just going to put them in a baggie so I don't want to lose the sticky note. Put that there. Thank you, ladies. All right, and I'll put A away, and I'll just list that later on Etsy. And the next thing is also for alcohol inks. It is round Nara paper and little wooden. The concept was to do the artwork and then put them on here and seal them. And then there are all these little micro Q-tips. I didn't realize how many I was buying when I bought them because I still have packages. And then there's two the palettes, and that's alcohol ink on them, which could even be reactivated. So this whole bundle, we'll say, and again, I'll package it as tiny as possible. I'll say just like $4. It's a paper set. If anybody is interested in that, let me know. Then let me grab one more thing. No, it's not there, so I thought I must have used it all. All right. Joy? All right. And then the next thing it's actually two things right here. They're just in the same. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is the memory tab puncher. It's $30. I just never used it. You know, I was going to use it to do, I was doing like going to do the folder journals like Kathy Arbor was doing, and I thought I would do those and make my own tabs, and I just found that I wasn't doing it at all. This is never been used. Like I never took the directions off of it. There's still a set of markers. There's a set of 48. Yeah, I still have set A, which is a set of 48. And the punch will be $10. Yes. Thank you. Again, remember at the top of the chat, you're going to find a link for a Google form. You want that's for the markers, right? And the punch. Okay. Got it. So be sure you fill out the Google form. And on the Google form, if you'll give me your real name, your screen name, your shipping address, and if you would prefer to go through PayPal or Etsy. Okay. And I will definitely go and figure out what the least expensive shipping is. All right. The next item is the foil pins. It's a package of the foil. Directions. There's 3 pins. They're 3 different sizes. And I think, and they have a USB. So they have just different. And then this goes on it. And I'm not, if I remember right, the kit that I bought will go in like the Cricut. Yeah, not the, or the, it will go in some of the cutting machines. I never used them in that, like the Silhouette. And you can use them. So that's what the different, that's what the A, B, C, and D are, I guess, is for the different machines, possibly. I just used freehand. I literally just attached one of these and used them freehand. But they're actually intended. And then I got this little silicone thing to rest, to hold them. And that's a brand new package of foil that was never opened. I used them a little bit. I just didn't find that I used them. And then this came with it. I don't know what it's for. But the directions are there. This is like $45. And I'm going to sell it for $5. Yeah, and then and I'll just make like a special order on Etsy and list everything you bought as one thing at one price. Right. there's anybody interested in the foil pins, just let me know. All right. So the next thing is a little hodgepodge. It is 15 of the little fine tip bottles, never used. 4 of the little funnels, and 9 of the little round tins. This is for like making, you can put watercolor in them. You could put lip balm in them. It screws on. And these are 1.5 inch diameter. And I'm just going to sell the whole set of them. Let's say, let's keep it easy and just say $5 for the whole set. And the other thing I'm going to throw in that I have somewhere, but I didn't count, is I have some sponges in different shapes. They're not used. I bought them to try different shapes and just did it. And they're just, like I said, they're like makeup sponges. I didn't count those. All right. If there's anybody interested in that little set, just let me know. The next thing is a small tin of 12 acrylics with 2 brushes and a pencil, never used. Probably gifted to me. It's Royal Langnickel. Okay, for all the fine tip bottles, yes. All right. Like I said, they've never been opened, never been used. The brushes, the pencil, none of it. I think I belonged to something where you got like a subscription box and it came in that. That's how I got it. These are acrylic. And we'll just keep it simple, $5. If there's anybody interested in that, let me know. All right. I don't even know where the next couple things came from. They came from like a Kirkland's. I don't know how they became in my possession. There are 3 of them. They have like they're a box. They're completely decorated. They look like a book. This one's got an angel. Kind of what I would think of like an Easter type. And then you can hide something in them. This one is a different angel. It looks kind of like more of a Christmas. And this one's a straight up Christmas. And they're like a wood and cardboard. And when the when they close, there must be like something almost magnetic in here. I'm not sure. Okay, Joy. And I'll be honest, I don't even know what to, if somebody wants these individually as a set. I'm open, like I'm open to price if you want to, if anybody's interested in, we'll just call them A, B, and C. I don't know, Rosemary. I think like $2 each. I mean, I don't think that I mean, they're in perfect shape. I don't know what, I don't even know, like I said, I have no idea how they came into my house. We'll say $2 each or $5 for the set. My thought was, I think at one time maybe that to do something with them. Okay, Rosemary. All right. It's funny how you get things and you don't even remember how you get them. All right. The next thing is when I was making my own watercolors and I first started doing the alcohol inks, I bought a respirator mask. It's all been like cleaned with alcohol ink. I only used it like one time because and it's like it was like $15. You can buy the little filters that go on it, which I never bought. And I'm going to list that at, I'm just going to list that at 3. If anybody is. Yes, Rosemary, that's what I did. And again, it's a journal. Someone gave it to me. I don't know. I'm just going to do like $2. It's never been used. I'll show you how it is inside. It's thin. See, it's got foiled. It's for like photographs. I've never even like opened it, but it's real thin paper. We might have gotten it when we got married, maybe somebody, and it's never been used. It is, I think it's like 4x4. Let me find a ruler. The outside cover is, yeah, the outside cover is 4x4. The inside is just a little under 4. It's like 3 3/4 square. Yeah, it's really got pretty silver, and it's a burgundy. There's a place for a picture. And I'm just going to put $2. It does have some weight to it. So it's probably more of something I would sell in the garage sale kind of thing. But if anybody's interested in it, just let me know. I don't think I'm going to list, like I said, I don't know that I'll list it on Etsy. All right. And the last, a couple last things. I have one volume of the Book of Knowledge. There could be, I don't think there's any pages torn out of it. And these are 5. I had sold them all for 5. And again, this wouldn't go media, book media, because it's, and this is copyright 1950, 51. The pages are kind of slick. Let's see. It's got, what these books did was they kind of went like there was something about the earth, the science, wonder questions, animal life, plant life, our own life, familiar things, countries, US, fine arts, literature. So there's always a section in them that has short stories and poetry, history. There are occasionally some colored images, but very few, if any. I saw some sepia. Yeah, here was another kind of gray and reddish purple. It's got kind of a consistency of magazine paper because it's got that slick feeling to it. But if anybody is interested in that, let me know. It's probably already listed on Etsy already still. All right. And then this next thing, it's a big thing of yarn. Some little cream. And then there's a crochet needle and a counter and those little safety pins. Somebody tried to, they wanted to teach me how to crochet. I'm left-handed. I've never like crocheted or knitted. I know like how, but it just never was anything that I was interested in. And she showed me how to do it and left me with all this stuff here, which the yarn is Red Heart. It's purple, 744 yards. I'm pretty sure it's the whole thing. If anybody is interested in that whole bundle, we'll say like $3. All right. Now, the next thing I want y'all's opinion on I have two sets, two complete sets. This is faux lace. It's made from silicone, white silicone, from molds. And the way I thought I would, the way that I planned to package it was I thought I'd use wax paper to kind of keep it so it's not like sticking to itself. These can be used on the jelly plate, but I used the one that I had gifted to me. I used in a journal cover. So you can see I just did my journal and glued on a piece of the lace in the journal. So my thought was a large piece and then some of the smaller pieces as a set. What do we, basically what I'm asking, I'm going to put them for sale on Etsy, and I'm not sure how I want to like group them or price them. What does everybody think? Here's one of them. Let me get the black paper back because that will help. All right. There's one of them. There's another. So these are the larger pieces, the larger molds. And then there's also smaller pieces. So I have two complete sets ready to go. The one tore, so I'm not, one of the laces tore. I'll use that in a project, probably myself. So I guess, you know, what I was thinking was maybe something like that as a set. One large and three of the smaller would be like an idea for a set. Give me your, yeah, so something like that as a set. The other thought was I'm doing paper packets to put on Etsy, and it's going to be 6x8 and 4x6 paper, an assortment of paper, and some stenciled or stamped tissue. And I thought about taking and cutting these and including them in the paper sets, but I thought they were, it was nice that the length they were. So a set like this, yeah. What do we think is a reasonable price for if you did a set like this? You got one large and then three of the smaller. Just kind of Okay, so I was thinking between the 5 and the $10 range. So yeah, so I find I'll just do, I think I'll do a set like this is 5. And so if anybody is interested, I will tell you I have two I have two of this, two sets like this, two that would be set A. Let me get another piece of black paper. And then I'll call this set B. I have okay, Lisa A or B? Lisa A. I have one more A and I have two sets of B. Rosemary an A and a B. And so I have one more set of B. Joy an A and a B. I will have to get some more silicone, but I will, and tomorrow a set of B, but I can do that tomorrow and make more. So Lisa an A and a B. Tomorrow a B. All right. And they don't, I made these just yesterday, so they don't take long to dry or anything. So I'll be able to. All right, an A and a B. All right, so Lisa an A and a B, Rosemary an A, B, Joy an A and B, Tamar an A and B. So that's easy. I just need to make another set of A and another set of B. So that's easy peasy. I just need to get, like I said, this is what I'm using. I just can't get any more out of this bottle. It's the Dynaflex 230. And we're going to go to Home Depot. So I'll just pick up another container of it. I just couldn't squeeze any more out of this bottle. Oh, just an A. Okay, Lisa. Just an A. All right. And that is it. Let me do something real quick. I don't want to lose y'all, but I'm gonna take a picture how we set the setup for A and B, just so I remember it if I move it aside. So let me take a real quick picture of that. And like I said, I think I'm going to put them in the wax paper so that they don't stick on themselves. Yes, yeah, you could definitely use them that way because it's water resistant. Um, they have a little stretch, but like I said, this one damaged when I pulled it out of the. You can use them on the jelly plate too. I'm thinking this one that tore on me, that I'm probably going to use it on one of these pieces with some of the scrapbook paper, and do another. I have a little one that I'm going to do that's just some leftover, because that's one of the other things I'm going to get at the Home Depot is I'm going to go and get some more wood. I did like this size. This size is like 13 long. And the way I just hung them up was using a D-ring, and I've been hanging them like I staggered two together. So I think that that would be kind of pretty on one in places. But yeah, you definitely can. You can use them on the jelly plate. You could use them over and over on the jelly plate. You can glue them in a journal or on the cover of a journal. Like I said, the journal that I have, I just did the layout and then put it on. It's just like gel medium, and it hasn't come off or anything. So this is 1.5 by 1, I think. I had it for yeah, it's pine. I had it for a framing project, and it was leftover pieces. They're offcuts. Yeah, so it's 1.5. And oh man, I don't remember. It was like 8 feet that I bought, right? And it was cut for a framing project, and these were offcuts. In fact, it should be somewhere another piece this size. And then what I did was I just took jelly prints and I just cut like little rectangular pieces. I didn't worry about the size. I just cut them. I glued them across. Here, I'll show you what I did. Because I have scraps. So I just dug out scraps that I wanted to use. And I just started with like, so if I wanted to glue, yeah, they were just hanging out in the garage. We'd done some kind of project. And so I just glued it down on the front. And then I just varied the width. And then when I had like a transition, and I used tissue. I just used various jelly printed papers and vintage papers that I had. And I just attached them. and got it kind of the way I want it. Now I pre-selected, and like before I glued, I laid everything out. Okay, give me just a second. C and E. E and C. Yes, ma'am. Let me put your name. On those. And so after I got everything kind of glued on and the top was glued, what I did was I flipped it over and I folded down everything. Then I used gel medium. Yeah, the one with the organic is really a good book. So I just kind of glued them like this. Put another fold. And you could use an X-Acto knife, but I just literally came in with my scissors and used the edge to trim. And after I trimmed everything and everything was dry, and you could use an X-Acto knife and do this on a cutting mat too. After everything was dry and I had everything off, all the sides on both sides, then I took some sandpaper and kind of roughed up and sandpapered the edges and came back with the original color of paint and kind of like hit a little paint on the edges. And that's kind of how I made those. So like I said, I thought that I was looking for something that was easy to make that I might take to that little shop. And I just like stuff that allows me to use up my scraps and not waste. Because in reality, I keep even little like this stuff. I keep in drawers to the side by colors and use them on cards. But like I said, after that was dry, then I would just come in and trim any extra paper. These are not my good scissors. They won't cut. But that's how easy those came together. And this is inexpensive. And then, like I said, I just put a D-ring at the top to hang it up. But what I'm going to do, I think, is start streaming on Fridays about 4 o'clock. Even when school starts, we get out of school like at 2 o'clock. So I'm home easily. I think we're on Fridays go until 2 now. So if I sub on a Friday, I'm home by 2:30, 3 o'clock. So I thought streaming on Fridays would be good. When school starts, if I'm super busy, if I find it too much, then what I'll do is like every other Friday. So, and to glue that lace, just going to put some gel medium down and let it dry. It'll just stick right on there. So I'll trim that later and make sure everything's glued down good and trim it. Let me throw all this back in the bin. And I will tomorrow package everything. And like I said, the books I'm going to do separate, mail separately, because the book rate is less expensive to do that media rate, unless it just fits like in a, and it does. I'll go whatever is the least expensive route. I'll look at both ways and how it kind of plays out, because I can easily price it on the pirate ship. And for those of you who came in late, I did do a little flip through of my book. I got a proof. This is a proof copy, so that's why it's got the not for resale. But it's got slick full color pages, table of contents. The second book I've started to work on, it's going to be the Art of Fusion, and it's going to be about stencils. Bye, Judy. But this is kind of what you get in the book, and there's 5 projects in the back. And it's available on Amazon. All right, so as I said, I will start. I got everything labeled. Hi, Leslie. I got everything labeled. I will figure out what is the least expensive route. I'll get the Google Forms and start trying to figure out how to package it this evening. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much. And then anything that I didn't sell, I'm going to list on Etsy. I'll get the stuff and make the lace tomorrow so that it'll be ready to ship. Because I can make it in the morning and it'll be ready by the afternoon. It's dry. It dries really quick. It sets and dries really quick. And you can pull it out of the molds. And I'm going to work this next couple of weeks on the paper packs. I need to do some jelly printing on some of the papers and stamping on some of the stencils, because one of the things I thought would be kind of neat is I have some of the oversized Izod stamps, and I thought I would do some of those on tissue and include them in the paper pack. This one is my favorite. It's text, it's scripted text. And so I thought I would do some stamping on tissue to include into the paper packs. So that's kind of what I've been up to. Really been working on a lot of like stuff to put online and that kind of stuff. The book, it actually I've been working on about maybe 2 months, but it only took me a couple weeks to put it together and list it. So I'm hoping that I'll have before the end of summer, I'll put the second book out on stenciling, and then I'm going to do a third one on jelly print techniques. So, but if nobody has any questions, be sure you fill out the buyer form. If you purchased anything, if you got anything, make sure you fill that out so that I have your information. And I think I can put the video on YouTube. It said when I went live that it's something about not recording unless I updated. So maybe StreamYard I canceled my membership. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate it so much. I got almost like 6 boxes and a whole bookshelf area clean that I can like get stuff off counters and onto the shelves. That's my goal. And then I'm going to update also in Etsy. Was on vacation in Etsy, and I'm going to put a bunch of artwork in there and try to list some stuff too that I haven't listed, some little pieces that I showed at the beginning of the stream, and list some of those in Etsy. I've got a live show in October. I think there's maybe one in September I'm going to do, but definitely one in October that I'm going to do here in Fort Worth. So I may do an artwork sale here in the fall and do that, but I haven't set that up. I've got so much stuff. I want to see what I can get in that little store for consignment before I actually, like, I'm thinking all my bunnies they might take. I want to see what they'll take. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go. So I'm sure Bob is wanting dinner. And I will see you all next Friday, 4 o'clock Central, 5 Eastern. Okay, so it'll be next Friday, and we'll do a project of some kind. I think probably with the paper packs, I'll do a project. Thank you, and I'll see you ladies next week if I don't see you on somebody's stream this week.